Hello. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. Readings are valid for when you come to them. But in this series, for this week anyway, I'm going to use Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West for the tarot. And there's the website there. I want to say it's schifferbooks.com. Yeah, schifferbooks.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Oracle cards I'm using. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. On the back here, there's a website at the bottom, rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as in apple, U as an umbrella. And last but not least, I use dice. I use a 20-sided dice to choose the major arcana. I use a 14-sided dice. It's a 21-sided dice. It's a special dice. And then I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element for the minor arcana. That does exclude the 0 for the major arcana, but I work with it. And where those dice came from, if I can, hopefully you can see that, mathartfun.com. If I can put my hand behind it, I think you can see it. And there's another one. I think this is where the bigger dice came, the 21-sided. Tom Anders. And there's a website there. I just can't seem to read it. But there's also this on the back. If you're one of those people that likes these things, go ahead and use that if you want to. All right. And I think with that, we're there. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4. astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and now on to your reading. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid from whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? Everything seems to be very, sparse. Okay. Very, spaced out. Okay. So, is that healing? You got healing with the community, and it's in the past. Whatever we're dealing with, whatever it is, it's not just good for you, it's good for other people too. I get a very amped up emotion with this. Healing is, I don't know, whatever's going on here, it does feel like something was wrong. And this is, I feel like this is a piece of correcting it. This is your piece of correcting it. You're doing what you can. And whatever you're doing is helping a lot of people. Should be helping you as well. Should be. Especially because the cards going forward, I do see you being compensated in some version. Could be monetary. There's the Ace of Pentacles kind of looming around this situation. There could be, because I see the Knight of Swords, there could be a legal connection here, especially because of the thing going on after. It's not so bad for you, but it's kind of like, there's some ridiculousness going on around this. There is some definitely foolishness. I was almost tempted to call it tomfoolery, but I feel like that really makes it seem a lot more comical than it is. I don't think it's funny. I think it's like something's not right here around this situation, and you have done your bit to kind of push that forward into the light. You've done your part. There could be, doesn't have to be. There's a lot of this foolishness. It's not total foolishness, but there's something here with somebody trying to mince words or trying to, if we say this and you agree to it, then I guess that means blah, 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 blah. Something ridiculous. There is some type of ridiculousness with it. I feel like I want to let go of that because it's not something for you to solve. We're just acknowledging it anyway. We're just acknowledging that is what that is. currently, the current energy is like, I got another sword card coming in, but everything is like a little bit separated. It's like, it's almost like, for example, if I was ordering lunch, it's like I put my order in at 11:30. I get response back at 12 that they've accepted my order. I get another response back at 12:30. You can pick it up at 1:30, and then I have to find somebody to go get it, and then it's like 2:30 before I get it back. It's kind of like I wanted lunch. I wanted to eat at noon. It's like 2:30, almost 3 o'clock but I'm getting it. It just feels like it's separated out like that in pieces, just like, especially the communication, and I do see this coming in, which could be more legal situations. This is only if it already is. If the situation already has a legal component, that's, I feel like what that's saying. I don't think it's going to bring that in unless it's already there. So if it's not expected, it's not going to show up. But it is definitely communication coming in pieces. I do feel like this looks like it could be a very happy thing for you, more personal comfort energy, personally more satisfied. Especially because I see that community card here, right here. I do see that. You might be at peace with it. Doesn't mean other people are. Let's just keep that in mind. I don't know where we're going with that. Don't get caught into somebody else's jittery energy. Not jittery. What's the word? I was gonna say frazzled. I don't know if that's fair either. Somebody might have like, somebody might be in that survival mode thing. You don't have to go down that road. Somebody else might be going into that survival mode energy. You don't have to go there. Keep that in mind in case there's something else around this, because I feel like there's this energy of kind of like it's starting to come forward. I don't know about a resolution right away, but it's coming. It does seem to be coming. Other people might be having a different reaction. You can be at peace with it. That's completely fine. Other people might not, as if it's something's lacking or not enough. I got 2 cards that came out while I was shuffling. Okay, these are half in, half out, which means the right side up and upside down do apply to these. You get to choose to a point how you're going to handle this, to a point. And you have the ability to be at peace with it. You don't have to be dragged into somebody else's drama, no matter how close they are to you. Whether, even if it was like your child or your partner or whoever it may be, a family member, a friend, whatever it may be, you don't have to get dragged down the road emotionally. You don't. And you can find a way, I believe, to be there as a support, maybe from a distance. Keep that in mind. If somebody is overwhelming you and they're upset, how do I explain this? If you're happy and the other person's upset, and when you try to help them, you end up just as upset as they are, you're not. That could make things actually worse for them. It's definitely not good for you, and it could make it worse for them. So even though you may feel kind of guilty of keeping at a distance, you might want to do that so you can keep yourself in a place where you can handle things. And every now and then, maybe try to help them if they want to hear it. Be aware if people don't want to hear it, don't try to make them hear it. Offer, but don't try to like push it. If they want to be in that feeling, maybe they don't want to be in that feeling, but if they are not willing to pull themselves out for whatever reason, or they can't, maybe they can't. If they can't, then you can't. You know what I mean? Let them be. You don't have to be dragged into somebody else's drama. Especially if it's just going to, like, you can't help, it's just going to pull you down. It's literally making it worse for them too. Keep that in mind. Putting that to the side, it does seem like there's a concern, but we do have, like, this card is coming one way or another. Some type of reward. The situation is stabilizing. That's happening either way. When this comes forward, there does seem to be an interesting choice about doing something, about doing what you're doing. Okay, so as this comes forward, can we get more about this isn't the better idea, this is like, cards flipping all over the place. Other people may be very discontent and I get like people don't want to let go, and there is some negative talk here. I got the Star card upside down to back this up, and I got the Four of Pentacles, which is not letting go. When the situation stabilizes, I feel like you want to let go anyway. It's kind of like, all right, let's solve this so I can let go and move on. I want to let go. Other people don't want to. Don't get pulled into that. Do your best to not get pulled into that. Especially if people are having that negative feeling and they're freaking out, or they're like, this isn't enough, or that's this. Let that be theirs and be like, listen, I can't follow you down that road. This is enough for me. I respect you have to do what you have to do, but I can't follow you. They may be very unhappy with that. Do yourself a favor, don't follow down that road. There seems to be pressure with it. There seems to be a lot of pressure. So what they're saying would work for you, realistically work for Sagittarius, of course. Okay, so whatever this reward, resolution, stabilizing is, doesn't mean it has to be the best outcome, but I feel like it's fairly good. I feel like, all right, that'll work. It'll put that behind us. We can let it go. I feel like that works. So it's almost like I was expecting $150,000. I don't know where that number came from. And maybe I'm ending up with like 85,000. I almost feel like it's kind of like, I feel like I don't want to keep fighting. I just feel like I don't want to, if that was the reward, if it was monetary, it's kind of like, if you're at peace with that, and you're like, you know what, that's fine with me. That works for me. That works for me. I would say then go forward and take what you want. Take it. If you're at peace with that and you're like, I want resolution. I want to let this go. And you're like, you know what, I wasn't expecting this to, rearrange my whole life, but you know what, the 85 works. I'll let it go. If that works for you, it's not if somebody else is at peace with it. It's not them. It's you. It's what you want. If it works for you, and you're like, you know what, to let it go, that's okay. I'll take it. This is not saying if you take that this is what's right. We're not saying that this justifies things. We're saying that this brings you to a place where you feel at peace. That's what we're looking for, a place where you feel at peace. We're not saying anything is right or wrong. We're just saying if you feel at peace, then that's right for you. So maybe that part we're saying is right. But we're not giving the whole, we're not judging the whole situation. It's like, by you taking that, you're saying everything else is right as rain. You're not saying that either. We're keeping that in mind. If you're able to, I feel like they're saying take the terms that you want, not what somebody else decides is okay. This is something I feel like it's better to let it go so we can heal, completely heal, finish healing, and put that in the past. If you're able to do that, the Tower card comes in, and the Knight of Swords half in and half out. There's more coming forward afterwards. So it's kind of like you got off the train. If you get off the train and you're like, this was good enough for me, other people are still not going to let go, and I feel like it's going to be a long haul. It's going to take some time. As they keep fighting forward, as they keep fighting forward and they just keep going and they just keep going and they just keep going, you will have let it go, and it won't hold you down anymore. Whatever the situation is, it seems like it's kind of like I just really want to let it go. I just want to really be done with it. I just really want to be done with it. I don't want to do it. Other people, you know what? I just get this weird feeling like people are going to manipulate it or try to make you feel like you did the wrong thing. You didn't. Disconnect from that. Disconnect from that. It's a long journey. It just seems like it drags out so much longer. You'll be happy. Let yourself be happy with what you have. It's kind of like reminds me of somebody else might be having a buffet, but I decided, I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to wait to go to the buffet at 5 o'clock. I wanted to have I want to have a meatball hero. So I did. I had a meatball hero at noon. And I was happy with that. And that's all I needed. And not for nothing, a week goes by, and who remembers what you had for lunch? Not for nothing. I didn't want to wait till 5 o'clock to have, the buffet. Sure, it had a lot of great stuff on it, but I wanted to eat then. And I just needed to eat. That's all I wanted. And I was satisfied with that. And I enjoyed it. And it was a great meal, and I was happy with it. I didn't want to wait then the extra 5 or so hours to go to the buffet. It just wasn't worth it for me. So I did what I wanted to do. Let yourself be happy. If other people want to judge it, disconnect yourself from them. Realize that literally is a them problem. They don't get to judge your life for you. People having that control or wanting that control, that's a problem. That's not a good thing. Recognize that as a them problem and let them own that. Don't take that on. Do what's right for you. If that's what works for you, do that for you. It's totally up to you with what you want to do. That's what I keep getting with this. Is there anything else with that? That Tower card with the Knight of Swords, I feel like for whatever this is, people who decide they don't want to accept or they don't want to let it go, they're picking up a whole nother battle, they're starting a whole nother battle. I just feel like I feel like you're happy not being a part of that. I feel like you really are happy not being a part of that. So I feel like that's what the Tower card is like. Wow, they're really starting that up again. They're really doing that again. They're starting a whole new fight with that. I'm not ready for that. So I feel like that's what the Tower card is like. Wow, I didn't think they would go that bad, but it goes that bad. If you've already gotten off the train, you don't have to deal with it. Are we good? I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.